Welcome to Porchlight Letters podcast number 2395. Today we're going to be talking about what clues suggest hardship or prosperity. But before we get started, apologies for being on so late tonight. My brother and his wife turned up and we've been going through boxes. We have currently emptied 12 boxes and we have consolidated some other boxes where we don't have bookcases to put stuff on, basically. So we've consolidated some of those boxes with stuff where I don't have anywhere to put it right now, it's more the what do we need now to unpack. So that's what we've been working on. But 12 boxes are gone. We've consolidated others and we're moving along at a great clip. So today we are talking about what clues suggest hardship or prosperity. So economic life leaves subtle traces. Frequent relocation suggests financial pressure. Moving often may reflect unstable income or housing. Temporary arrangements signal uncertainty, and stability really requires constant relocation. So you can see where they move to, like using census reports to find the information about the moves and things. Of course, that only comes out once every 10 years, unless you're in the States, in one of those states that was doing it every the years ending in 5 in between. Look at directories that will also have that in there. In some places, you can also look at their electoral rolls and see what's in there, or tax records, or wills and probates will show all of that as well. Stable residence indicates security. Long residence suggests consistent resources. Families are able to remain in one place often, had dependable income, and stability reflects security that they had. So if you're seeing on census report that they are a farmer and they're staying on that same land, they're able to maintain their lifestyle to be able to stay on that land. Occupation type reflects opportunity. Skilled work often provided stability. Manual labor may reflect economic vulnerability. Occupation signals social position. Depending on what your occupation was, depended on what your status was in the class status, whether you were low income, poor, middle income, high class, low class, it all mattered back then. Household density signals economic strain. Crowded living arrangements often indicated shared resources. Multiple generations under one roof may reflect necessity, and space reflects means. You can look up these addresses. If you go, you can go and if you find out where they were living, you can go and look up those addresses to see what it looked like back when they were living there. Go for a tour through the area. Take a in the footsteps of your ancestors tour to the area where your ancestors came from, and maybe the houses that they lived in were there, so you can see how many people were sitting in, how big the house was that everybody was in. They may have had a large house, and that's just became like it was designed for multi-generations. So when you're looking at multiple generations under one roof, it may reflect necessity, or it could be that they just lived that way. Asset ownership reveals economic standing. Property, tools, or business ownership signal wealth or investment. Lack of assets suggested limited resources, and ownership reflect economic capacity. So looking to see what properties that they owned, you can look at that through the land deed records. You can look through community newspapers. You can look through community documents. There's a whole range of things that will help you determine, help give you clues to what their economic status was. Newspaper articles, another great resource. It all matters because economic conditions shape experience. Those that were in the lower class would have a very different experience of life with those in the upper class. So you would have to have a look at that. But so when you're looking at multi-generations under one roof, find out how big the house was so you can determine, were they doing that to help with living expenses and stuff, or was it such a big house that everybody had their own space? Practical takeaways: look for patterns in residence, work, and ownership. And if you want help identifying economic clues, send us a private message to set up a 30-minute, no obligation, free discovery call to get you on the path for helping you find the stories of your ancestors. And in closing, prosperity and struggle leave footprints. That's why if you want to go in the footsteps of your ancestors, find out where they came from and arrange to do tours over there. Set up times with the local historians of the area as well, or the local genealogists. You might be able to find them as well, just to get an idea of what times were like when your ancestors were living there, because the historians, they are a wealth of information. Plus, they may also have access to records that aren't available online. With that, we're out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, And we'll be back tomorrow evening at our regular time of 6 p.m. Pacific, unless somebody else turns up to help me unpack boxes. So, hey, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Hey, konera.